Know that Harvard has scientifically proved time is an illusion? Whenever I tell people, hey, did you know time's an illusion? They often say, things get old and die, so obviously that disproves that time's an illusion. And honestly, I always thought that that was a good point, until now. So allow me to introduce you to the counterclockwise experiment. So in 1979, Ellen Langer had a theory. She theorized that our expectations and beliefs had an impact on our physical health. She theorized that as we got older, the way we thought about ourselves changed. Therefore, our physical body changed as well. So, she tested this. She took 8 elderly men and had them live in a residential retreat for 1 week. But here's the catch. This wasn't a normal retreat. This retreat was a time capsule. Everything at this retreat was from 1959, 20 years earlier. And I mean everything, from the painting to the magazines and the music. And after 1 week, just 1 week at this retreat, the results blew her away. All 8 men showed signs of increases in memory, dexterity, appetite, and general well-being. Outside observers even claimed that all men looked significantly younger. Now with all this being said, here's my question. If we all believed that humans lived to be 200 years old, would we? Comment your thoughts below.
I believe that you speak over yourself what you believe. That if you feel like you're younger and you have a younger mindset, you're absolutely going to feel younger. My husband told me about the story and then he sent it to me, so I'm glad we got to watch it together. And in this experiment, as she put these men in this room where it was a time capsule, it brings up old memories, right? Nostalgia. You start to feel more young that you did in your youth, and you start to remember things that you might not have remembered. That really is, I feel like that's a powerful thing. And if we feel old, if we feel decrepit, we start moving more like we are, we start looking more like we are. It's, you look how you feel. If you, and I'm not saying that, you know, a 60-year-old is going to look like they're 40, but it really is how you feel, how you move, how you take your day to day. I truly believe that this was a really good study because it shows you how much nostalgia really brings you back, and then you start moving around. It's like when you smell that old candy bar or a certain scent or a perfume from when you were younger that takes you right back into that moment. So everything floods in and you start feeling more vibrant because you're feeling those old memories that you were doing. So I do believe that we can speak over ourselves positivity and negativity. If we just say, oh, my bones, I don't feel good, instead of saying, you know what, my bones are sore, I'm going to get them stronger, I'm going to do what I need to do, I'm going to make sure that I'm the healthiest that I possibly can be so that I can live a better life for my kids. That's where I'm at. So I do feel like what you speak over yourself is super critical. If you're doing negative talk, it's not going to be good for you. If you're doing positive talk, if you're doing affirmations, if you are thinking in a more higher frequency, that's where you're going to be. And in this case, they might have been older to where they weren't able to even think or even had any more of that positive talk, but putting them in that type of environment with everything from a time period of when they were young, that brought them back. That is a really, really cool trial. I'm glad he showed me this video because he told me about it a few weeks ago and he just snuck it in. My husband is all about education and learning videos, so I want to let you guys know too, a lot of our videos, we have some, you know, little raunchy things here and there, but for the most part, they're very lighthearted. We talk about science here. We talk about just a variety of different things, all of the things in which are in my husband's brain. You guys don't want to see my FYP, okay? You do not. Well, actually, lately it's just about baking because I'm in a complete submersion of learning how to bake everything from scratch so that I have better ingredients for myself and for my family. So I am like on the from scratch page. So we would just be sitting here learning how to make bread and butter. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you want to do that, but you let me know and I'll tell my husband. Let's get to the next video. Oh my gosh, yes, sign me up right now. I want this. What is this?
Flip over.
That is Billy Badass.
Let's go, nice friends.
I did this at Okeechobee. It was so cool.
Come on up. Beautiful. Go straight up like this.
Woo! I want to read some more of the comments. Let's go to it. What else do we got here? It looks like, I wish henna was done like this. And that was my first thought too. So I only started getting tattoos within this last year. I went my entire life without getting tattoos. And all my friends got tattoos when they were young, in their 20s and their 30s. And I was always kind of afraid of it. And I just didn't want to do it. My mom, my sisters, everybody had tattoos. And I'm just like, I would always call myself a virgin from not having any. But then it wasn't until a couple years ago that I started getting henna. And because I got henna, it made me more comfortable with the idea because I loved the way they looked on my skin. And I always wanted tattoos, but I was seriously scared to do it. So when I see this practice, I think of henna. That's where my mind goes. If I was at a fair or any type of event that had this, oh my gosh, I would be like, can you dip my face in there? Because I would love it. The whole leg up to the thigh, I would do it. Having henna kind of started me on my journey. I'm coming up on a year now with my first was my husband's name to my left. And part of it too is my mom, who she passed away a month apart from my dad within the last 2 years. I don't even know exactly the time frame because I try not to think about it too much. But she used to have a lot, like I was saying, so I feel like I'm close to her in a way. And I have some that she had, like she had a rose that was right here, and she had that forever. So I have a rose that's on my ankle in memory of my mom. So I just feel like it's something that I'm close to her, and I know she would love my tattoos if she was around. So I love you, Mama. Shout out to you.
Do you have a moment by any chance? I just ask people if I could walk with them and have a conversation.
Yes.
Would you be down to do that?
Girl,
What's
yes.
the conversation?
As long as your walk is. Like, I would just walk with you wherever you're headed. It's up
Let's
to you,
go.
though.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
That's kind of what?
Kind of weird.
Weird?
Okay, I can walk you through this spot.
Yeah.
He's like,
is it
nobody's
okay if
ever
I
asked me
record the
this.
whole thing? Okay, cool. Those are my camera women right there. Give me a second. I'm just going to mic you up. Let's go over to the side here.
We're going to get a good conversation, I can already tell. But he was a little standoffish, like, what are you doing? Oh, I want to hear
Do you
the
have a moment by any
conversation.
Are you military?
I am. How did you know that?
I got an eye
Sure.
for female soldiers.
Was it the shirt?
Yes, babe.
Yes. Have you heard of Drake?
Yes.
I'm Drake's brother.
You guys don't look like.
Maybe it's the camera. Maybe if I switch it.
What the?
What about now?
Can I see the other angle again?
Get out of here.
What the?
Maybe with a mask. Alexa, turn on Riz lights.
Oh my goodness.
I've seen you before.
She said, who are you?
Yeah, maybe in your dreams. Anyways, before I go, let me play the bongos for you.
Let's go.
Okay.
And bongo time.
That was pretty awesome.
Are you military?
I am. How did you?
So let's go to the comments real quick. Chill, my girl is on this app. That's one beautiful woman. She's absolutely gorgeous. Oh my God, hands down my favorite video. Yeah, maybe in your dreams killed me. Shout out to Zen0WHOX. This type of video is your best content. Oh, that's nice. You know, these were good videos. I wanted to go back on that last video that we saw right before here with the gal who was walking and asked that gentleman if he would like to go on a walk with her. And I think that that was my favorite video by far of all of these videos. Even though we didn't get to understand their conversation or even hear their conversation, we are missing that. We are missing human interaction. So many times, a lot of us get stuck in our screens and we don't talk to anybody. We go to the store, everybody's silent. You can't even get a cashier to say, how are you doing today these days? And it just seems like we're so closed off from each other. And as somebody who sometimes I over talk, and I have had to even teach myself not to smile and wave at everybody because not everybody is as nice as me, but I've had to teach myself. But I miss that human interaction and we need it. It is so strong. It is so important. Some people have nobody to tell them how awesome, how dope they are throughout the day. And to hear somebody else, to be present in their conversation, even if it's a stranger, that's just showing somebody that you will show up for them and that you will hear what they have to say and that you will be able to bond with them in a way. I think that we are so much more alike than we are different, and that we have so many similarities, but we never know because we don't sit down and talk to each other. It's really sad these days when I hear about people who just don't talk to people. They scroll, they see all of their information that way instead of just having a good old-fashioned conversation. Those are so needed. And when you are done having them, you feel better, right? You feel like you've learned something about a person. You might have been able to get something off your chest. And especially with a stranger, you might be more likely to tell a stranger something you wouldn't tell anybody that you knew. That's the great thing about a therapist. I love going to a therapist because for me, as somebody who grew up with a family that there was some that I did not trust to tell my inner thoughts, having a therapist be able to say, hey, that's normal or that's not normal was huge for me. In my early 20s, I started going to therapy and I talked to somebody because I had severe anxiety and depression back then. I no longer suffer with it like I did in my early 20s, but it was really bad. And just having that conversation with that stranger at that time allowed me to get so much off my chest and unburden myself to where I was able to do some serious healing. So when I see conversations like that being able to take place, I just think of you never know who you're talking to. You never know what can happen from that as a result of that conversation or where it can lead you to in the future. It's good to be able to share your thoughts with somebody and to be able to feel like you're heard and that you're valued. And that is the most important thing that we should focus on really anymore these days. In a world where we are just scrolling through our phones and sometimes we don't even have anybody that we could talk to and really talk to, conversations are where it's at. So do I suggest you go out, pull out a camera and ask a stranger on the street, a random person? Maybe not, but maybe you have more of a conversation with the person at the checkout counter if they say hi to you, because remember I said some of them won't even say hello. But a random person, you never know what the opportunity is ahead of you, and don't miss your blessings. Don't miss them, because a good conversation can be wholesome for you and the person you're talking to. I appreciate you guys so much for watching these videos with me. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button, and if you liked it, press a like on there. I'll see you next time. Peace out.